Being able to see well in the dark while you are backpacking or camping is super important. Whether that's finding good footing while you are hiking on the trail, or if it's at camp and you're trying to find firewood, or you're trying to find that food that's hung up in a tree, or maybe it's just to check out that scary sound out in the woods. Headlamps have a lot of features and comparing them can be super complicated. We're going to keep it simple. Let's talk headlamps. I'm usually a go with the flow, you'll be fine type of guy. However, 8 years ago, I was solo backpacking on the Superior Hiking Trail. I got to camp, I set up camp, I had dinner. I walked down to an overlook to watch the sunset. I came back in the dark and there was a bear in my campsite. I made some noise and he kind of walked out on the perimeter. And because of my poor headlamp, I couldn't really see the bear after that. All I could see was his beady yellow eyes staring at me. No matter how much noise and how much I tried to scare him away, he just wouldn't go away. And I really couldn't see him that well with my headlamp. About 6 years ago, I was backpacking in the Porcupine Mountains. And I got to camp. And as I was walking into camp during the day, I saw a bear pole for hanging your food. I went to camp, set up camp, ate dinner. It started raining, hung out in my hammock, and I had to go back in the dark and hang my food bag. However, it was raining, it was super dark, and I had that inadequate headlamp, so I ended up tromping around in the rain for about an hour just trying to find that bear pole for hanging my food. Following those experiences, I decided to go out and buy a better headlamp. I decided to purchase the Nitecore NU25 headlamp. Not only was it brighter, but it's light, it's small, and it's rechargeable. And really, this has been the headlamp that I have used while backpacking for over 6 years now. Earlier this year, I was finishing a very long 38-mile hiking day through shin-high weeds in the dark on the North Country Trail. Those weeds were blocking my view where I couldn't see the rocks, I couldn't see the uneven surfaces, and all I wanted to do was get to my car. However, those conditions were really slowing me down. And at that moment, I realized that my headlamp in those circumstances was inadequate. And I started thinking about that I am going to be trail running in similar circumstances, and if I don't have a better headlamp, that could be the ingredients for a fall. I love my Nitecore NU25 headlamp so much that actually I purchased another one. This one has a lighter strap and it actually plugs into USB-C cables. But those headlamps are 400 lumens, and I decided if I was going to be trail running that maybe I needed to get something a little bit brighter while I'm doing that. So I decided to get the Nitecore HA23 UAE headlamp. This has 600 lumens. I took both headlamps out last night and did a field test to compare the 400 to the 600 lumens. We are going to do a field test of both headlamps. So I have both the HA23 here and the NU25. The NU25, of course, has a max lumens of 400, and the HA23 is 600. So in my field test, we are, yes, literally in a field. And when I say we, I have my trusty assistants here. Come here, Frank. Come here. Frank was going to sit up here, and the plan was for me to walk away while he stayed. Come here, Frank. Sit, sit, sit. Can you stay? Stay. Are you going to stay? No? You're already standing up. That's not a good sign. You need to stay. All right, that ain't going to happen. As a backup here, we have a reflector running tape here. So I have marked out in 50-foot increments down this trail here for 450 feet. They say that both of these headlamps can cast a light 144 yards, which is just a little over 430 feet. Even though one's 600 lumens, one's 400 lumens, you know, that is brightness nearby down here and not way out there in a distance. So we are going to walk to my different increments and see how far away we can still see that reflector tape, since you're not helping me out here, Frank. Here we go. We're coming to our first marker, which is actually 100 feet. 100 feet. And if I take off the HA23 and just use the NU25, I can see plain as day up there the reflector. If I switch and go to my HA23, you can see that it's still very easy to see. Let's go out to 150 feet. 150 feet. The NU25, if I shine it towards the light over there, or towards the reflector, still very easily to see. If I go to the other HA23, you can also still see it very well. Let's go out to 200 feet. Frank, what's that, 200 feet? We got 200 feet here. Let's start with HA23 first this time. See our signs. There it is up there. Easy. We go to the NU25. Signs. Easy. Let's go out to 250. 250. The NU25. See my signs up here. See up there? We're still reflecting. HA23, still reflecting. Let's go out to 300 feet. 300, we're still reflecting. And this is the HA23. Compared to the NU25. Markers. Reflector. 300 feet away. Let's try 350. 350. 350 feet. We are still reflecting with the NU25, and with the HA23 it's not focusing well. And with the HA23 you can see we are still reflecting at 350 feet. Let's go to 400. We are at 400 feet away from our reflector. All right, 400 feet, you can see all our signs, and there's a reflector. This is with the HA23. Okay, with the NU25, see our signs, and you can see the reflector up there at 400 feet. 450 feet, the NU25. Signs, markers. We can still easily see that reflector from 450 feet with the NU25. HA23, 450 feet. You can see the close-up signs a lot easier with this one with the 600 lumens. And the reflector is still easily seen. All right, I got my tape measure out here. Past the 450 feet, we're gonna go out to 500. All right, we are at 500 feet. HA23, you can see it has a real good close up. We can scan way down there. Reflector is still able to be seen at over 500 feet. The NU25, you can see here, still doing quite well. All the markers, 450, 400, 300, 200. Reflector, still very bright. My hope for this test was to see how far away you could see an animal's eyes looking at you in the woods. However, Frank did not participate from a long ways away. The rechargeable NU25 advertises that when you operate it at the full 400 lumens, that the battery life is 2 hours and 40 minutes. The HA23 here, when you are operating with the rechargeable battery, it advertises that when you are operating at 600 lumens, that it will last for 3 hours. The HA23 can also operate off of standard AAA batteries. However, its battery life is about half as long with those batteries. Now, the NU25 only weighs 50 grams, and the HA23 is significantly heavier at 90 grams. The NU25 is advertised for about $37. The HA23 is advertised for only $30. However, that $30 does not include the rechargeable battery, which is about $12 more. So both headlamps are real nice. Depending on your application, depending on how you're going to use them, I honestly still use my NU25 the most. And the reason for that is most of the time I'm out backpacking. I'm usually on a pretty well maintained trail. Most of my hiking is during the day. So my headlamp is mostly just used at camp. Setting up my hammock, maybe finding some firewood, but just making dinner and getting ready to go to bed. So this has adequate lighting, and really that 600 lumens that this provides isn't necessary. However, if you are going to do a lot of night hiking, or if you're going to be trail running, I'd recommend this one just because it provides the extra lumens and you'll be able to see that much better when you are moving and you may be tired, or there may be other conditions where you need that extra light. So pick one on your application. Another significant difference between these two headlamps is they're both rechargeable if you buy the rechargeable battery for the HA23. This one, you don't switch out the batteries. The NU25, you just plug in your power cord from your power bank and charge it up. Now this one, the HA23 with a rechargeable battery, it's just that. You can open it up and easily pull out the battery, and you plug in your USB-C cable to that battery to recharge it, which may sound like a pain when you're out on trail and something else to lose pulling that battery out. But think about this, is you can buy more than one battery for this. So if you know that you're going to be night hiking and you're going to be out there for more than 2.5, 3 hours, you have an extra battery here where you can easily switch it out. Now this one, if you hike more than 3 hours and you have it at that maximum 400 lumens, you're going to have to recharge it. Now you can operate this one with a power bank plugged into it and it'll light up. So you could do that in a pinch. However, if you're wearing a headlamp, where are you going to tuck that power bank, to make it convenient? So pick on your choosing. Now I'm thinking about running a ultra marathon where I'm running all night. So this one is the one to choose because I can buy 3-4 batteries and it has the extra light. So pick out the one that's best for you. They're both good headlamps. If you have questions about either one of them or headlamps in general, let me know down in the comments. And if you have just any questions about headlamps, anything about the outdoors, I don't know everything, but I'll try to answer it anyway. Thanks for watching. Check out Midwest Backpacker on Instagram, and I will see you out on the trail.